Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Monday. All right, guys. Well, thank you yesterday for we took the day off and there wasn't a whole lot going on. So I'm not gonna lie, sometimes on the weekend it alarms you a little bit because we do hot messy topics on Friday. We only give it 2 days, then we do it on Monday. So you're kind of hopeful that things are going to come out, but lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. So yes, we're here for it. Now, with that too, thank you to everybody for sending Jason and I all of the love for our interview with Julia Rogers, who's the CEO and founder of Hello Prenup. She was incredible as far as like a host and everything. And we were very vulnerable in that interview. So if you guys have not seen it, you can go listen to it anywhere you get your podcast, Hello Prenup Podcast, or you can go to YouTube and just check it out. With that, though, we got to welcome the husband. I made a video this morning because I was stalking his ass. I didn't post it, but I might post it later. I'm a weirdo, you know? Here we go. Hello.
Hi. Sorry, there's some kind of delay, but I'm here.
Oh.
I'm here.
Okay, we're here. Okay.
By the way, you're not stalking when like everybody I work out with in the morning, because I work out outside, like under this covered thing right next to the water. It's actually beautiful. It's just really, really hot right now. But Adam's like, hey, I was stalking you today. I know you didn't know. And I'm like, we watched you drive by like 3 times, you weirdo. Like the whole
I sit there and I drive by guys and I'm like this. I'm like, there's that mofo. He's right there. I caught you.
I'm just like, please, no one look. My husband's crazy.
I was like, you think you got away? I got Find My own iPhone. I got the tracker on the car. I know everything.
Oh, please.
And Jason's like, I'm literally just like running and lifting weights with like a bunch of elderly women. And
oh my God, guys,
didn't do anything.
I'm doing this workout, and I don't mean to make this about me, but
no,
people are still coming to the room. So hit that like button. We have 200 in the room. Hit the like button. I work out with a whole group of people, like people who are my age in their 40s, maybe a couple younger people every now and then. But I'm telling you, this is one of the hardest workouts I've ever done. And I have some ladies there who are in their 50s and 60s, one in her 70s, who are lapping my ass when we run,
dude,
who are lifting better weights than me. And I'm like, what is happening? Like people are in shape.
I was laughing because Jason is so different, by the way, guys. And we're going to get into the stuff, but just like story time. Jason's so different because when I go to work out at F45 and all of that, I just modify everything. And then I look at it as like a big social, you know, like I'm like in the morning, I get to see
oh my God, your workout.
Social. It's so social.
All social.
Even I was telling Jason earlier, the trainer today was like, okay, guys, from the window to the wall. And I just immediately thought of the proposal with Sandra Bullock and I think it's Ryan Reynolds. And I was like, to the window, to the wall. I thought about Betty White. I was like, to the sweat drop down my.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're good.
So, but I just like, and he's like, I need Jason to come get your ass and get you out of here. Wherever he's at, go with him. And I was like,
there's no modifying in my workout.
Yeah, no, so I can't do
She'll
that.
yell at you. She's the boss.
We don't like that. But all right, guys, again, don't forget to let us know in the live chat where you're watching from. And if you guys are a part of the replay crew, please comment, let us know where you're watching from. We're always excited to kind of see that. And this is going to be a big week. Tonight we have Below Deck. Tomorrow we have Anchor Watch. We have Jason's mom's birthday this week. And then we also get the Real Housewives of London. So it's like gift after gift.
Available now. Available now. Which is awesome. We're watching that after this.
We're watching it after this, but
100%.
We have to just jump into some of the shit, shall we?
You know what? This is the first time I don't know what we're talking about today.
I love it.
Which is I don't, but okay.
Pick one. OC, Beverly Hills, Miami. Where do you want?
I'm just looking. There's my mom. Happy birthday, mom. Who's in? Everyone's watching from Alabama, Bluffton, Seattle, Winnipeg, Scotland, even. Ooh. And Florida and Michigan. Got lots of people in.
It's so funny. I saw, by the way, because I look at Instagram in the morning, you guys, for like 10 minutes before I actually get out of bed. Jason gets so annoyed because I fidget and he can tell I'm awake. So I just have to like take my ass out of the bed because I'm just like I'm waking up the whole house. And I was watching this Instagram this morning, this video, and it was a guy and he was a black man with a Scottish accent. And he's like, why do you guys think that we don't exist? And I was like, who thinks that? I was like, do people think that? I'm like, what world do we live in? We just need to like get ourselves sometimes maybe out of reality TV and just educate ourselves sometimes. I think maybe that's probably a little bit better. But
well, there you go. There you go.
Rebecca Cohen said, I watched Real Housewives of London. Okay, let us know what you think.
I can't wait. I can't wait. My cousins are watching it and they're so excited because like this is the first time we can actually watch a show together.
Yeah.
Because I have a cousin in London who is following the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, by the way, who has never been into Bravo, Real Housewives, or anything. So she watched this latest season of Beverly Hills and she's like, I'm watching this from the start. And then she's like, oh my gosh, this one-liner that Lisa Vanderpump was saying. I didn't know Adrian Malouf lived right across the street.
The
Taylor's
Malouf
husband is the Malouf who Taylor's husband is like kind of weird. I'm like, just wait, it gets dark. And it's just crazy. Now she's so invested that she's jumping on board with the Real Housewives of London. And now I gave you my prediction, Adam. I really think Hey You it's a streaming service that is a subsidiary of NBC, similar to Bravo.
Subsidiary.
And they have their own things that they're trying to do. They even do like Hey You meetups with like cast members from Below Deck or whatever shows they currently have on Hey You. I just see them as like stepping it up for the UK and wherever else you can get Hey You, because there are so many great franchises on Hey You. The Real Housewives of Lagos. I got like sucked into that last week and I'm like, what am I watching? This is amazing. So you got to check out Hey You. It's really cool. And if you guys don't know how to get on it, you have to have a VPN. So you can like, pretend you're watching from the UK or somewhere else.
This sounds very difficult. Okay, but we'll watch it because Jason's smart. And if you ask me to give you a VPN, I can't give you a PIN, a VPN. I can give you CBD. I can't give you EBT, nothing. Just
it's
CBD.
A matter of time though before we see Hey You pop up with like a Hey You Con or something like this in the UK or somewhere else where these shows are popular, like Canada too. I just would love to see that grow into something and for them to have their own reputation other than Bravo, because I think London is going to kill it.
Absolutely. All right. So Toaster JB said, can we talk about Todd and Alexia? Guys, so this is a 10-minute sort of confession. I'm not going to play the entire thing because it is a lot, but I'm going to give you guys the gist of it. Todd is clearly not happy. He's pissed. He's pissed at producers. He's pissed at what Alexia has said about him. He is threatening lawsuits, and he doesn't like the way that he's being portrayed when it comes to Frankie. You remember that whole story about him leaving Frankie there while he was moving everything out, and he just left Frankie in an empty house? He said,
I even brought that up.
None of it happened, is what he's claiming. So if you guys haven't seen this, let me just give you some insight. That way Jason and I can dissect it. Here we go.
I have not seen it, by the way.
The biggest mistake I've made in my adult life was agreeing to participate in the Real Housewives of Miami. Now, I was not one who really wanted to give up my privacy and become a reality star. That was never for me. And I certainly never enjoyed filming, and I'm sure that's obvious to anyone who ever watched the show. But the final straw, the breaking point, came when lies started being told, and Adriana went on TV and started making claims that I was struggling, that couldn't pay my rent, and I was having financial problems. And it was a real blow to me, and I couldn't believe people would make these kind of lies up. And I was very mad at her for lying on TV, and she knew it was a lie. And I was mad at Alexia for getting me involved in this mess. But I was the most mad at the producers who knew the story wasn't true. And they didn't just run it, they ran it and reran it and reran it with no regard for me or my feelings or the truth. And in fact, I was the one telling them after the story came out, and I knew that they filmed it, that I had just bought a $24 million shopping center. What was my financial problem? But they really didn't care. The show must go on. And they did. The show did go on. And it got to a breaking point where I couldn't take it anymore. And I had to make a very hard decision. I realized I couldn't live in this world anymore, and the woman I loved couldn't live without it. So I had to make a decision to leave. And it was a very tough decision, but it had to be made. I was well aware of the storyline they were creating for Series 7 about the reconciliation, and I agreed that I would go along with that. In return, I was under the impression I was getting some apologies from Adriana, and I was going to be let off the hook, so to speak, and not dragged like past husbands of these kinds of TV shows. So it seemed like a pretty fair deal to me, so I stayed quiet and let it air out. Now, not surprised at all that it didn't play out as I had expected. I see no apologies coming my way. Nobody acknowledging the slander and defamation of character they did to me. I see actually the story getting worse, and they're making up stories about how I moved out of the house and left Frankie alone, which none of this is true. It's just for the storyline. And I've stayed quiet. For 18 months, I sat back and stayed quiet out of respect and love to Alexia. But at some point, you're pushing too far. And this is the point. Now, I could understand Alexia bashing me. And I could understand her coworkers doing the same. Even the one I've never met once in my life who seems to be obsessed with me. That's all fine. And I'm not surprised one bit that the producers are running this because they need a storyline, need to sell you guys a show. But what did surprise me is that they used Peter to come at me and bash me and say that I don't give a shit about Frankie. Well, now you hit a nerve and now you have my attention and you're going to start getting some responses. That's where you went too far. Now, there is no doubt Alexia is an amazing mother and does everything for Frankie.
So he goes on to say, Alexia is a fantastic mother. He doesn't bash her one time in this. He said, I was disappointed with the way that Alexia, like he said, I hung out and spent a lot of time with Alexia. We were on great terms after filming. She didn't let me know that any of this was coming out, where she talks about, you know, him leaving Frankie alone. He said, none of this was shared with me and I was caught off guard. But he said, what really pisses me off is Alexia is a fantastic mother. His dad doesn't get enough credit. He's a fantastic father. He picks up Frankie every single weekend. And aside from those two who are clearly, you know, the birth givers, your biological parents, it was me. I'm the one who paid for his clothes. I'm the one who took him out 2-3 times a week. I'm the one who did all of these things. And now you're going to sit here and say I'm broke, I rent my shit, and that I also didn't take care of Frankie and that I was like a bad person? Absolutely not. So he said, you know what you're about to do? You're about to find out. This is what he's saying to Bravo, you guys, and production, which technically it would be 2 separate lawsuits because
it would be,
because usually it's like Evolution Media or Shed Media, or
it's not either of those. I forgot who it is. It's a different company.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a
whoever they use for Miami needs to be used across the board. Let's just be real.
Miami's great.
They have great producers, by the way. And so I know some of those producers. So I know that they're great producers and they are doing their job. Are some things though, Adam, that kind of like when I was just listening to him, because I haven't seen this yet before.
Oh, there's a whole, you got to watch the whole 10-minute thing, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh my God. But he was talking about, like, you know, coming back on and going along with the storyline that him and Alexia have kind of like come back together. And then in return, he would get some kind of apology. He thought it was a fair deal. Well, then you're still playing the game, you know? So I think, like, if you want to get your side out there, go on social media, go on Instagram, tear them apart, do whatever. And he did, but also you participated yet again in the show. You know, like, you decided you wanted to do that. So that's always something, like, when reality TV, when you have the opportunity to do it, which we have had put in front of us twice, big shows, it's not for us. And you got to be in a place where it's like, I don't want to put myself in this. You know, it's not worth my business, my reputation, or anything else. The other thing that kind of got me too, because I don't think the Shojais, the Stephanie and Masood, I don't think they came for him originally. He was the one who was kind of putting stuff out about them. But it's like, why are you participating in that?
No, it was the episode. What really sparked him and I think chapped his ass a little bit was when Stephanie interjected talking to Alexia, and she said, you know, when the trash takes itself out, you got to let it go. So Todd being the trash, like, it took itself out. Like,
that's an opinion.
And you
know what I mean? You're allowed to say stuff like that. Like, that's okay.
100%. And that's not, I don't think that's defamatory. I think that's, like you said, it's an opinion. If you go on and you say, you know, somebody's broke, or they're stealing, or they're doing, you know, like, they're not doing correct business practices, or there's something corrupt about them, or they're cheaters or liars, those are defamatory statements. You know what I mean? And those things, because he's technically, he's already putting himself in an interesting light, because as a public figure, it's almost near impossible to sue somebody for defamation. One that I've seen, and I'm friends with Tasha K, like loose friends, as far as like, if she messages me or I message her, Unwind with Tasha K on YouTube, we have good conversations. She's always like super, super sweet to me. But when she went on and she said, I think that Cardi B, it was something to the effect of might have
with the
things,
STD. Yeah.
Some things like that. Cardi B won that lawsuit. I think it was something to the tune of like $4 million.
Well, because there
Those
was no
are
alleged,
different.
you know what I mean? There was no
Yeah.
like, well, we've heard or whatever. It was like matter of fact. So
Yeah.
God, but the Cardi's never gonna see that money.
But now going back to Todd saying that he's going to sue production, sue Bravo, and he's going to give all of the money back to people who are being bullied, cyber bullied, people who are being targeted on social media, all of this. And he said, and I'm going to win a lot. Now I'm looking at it like, I just wish, and I don't know, what is it, WikiLeaks or whatever? Like was it WikiLeaks who like gave us like all of the information of who was like on Jeff Epstein's plane and shit like that?
Yeah, it had like everything. Yeah.
I want to know, does WikiLeaks let us know like when Nene resolved her lawsuit with Bravo, whatever happened? Can we find out how much these people are pulling in? Because
no, you shouldn't.
He's about to rack up.
My problem is I totally get where he's coming from because he wants to save his reputation. Todd seems like a very nice businessman, like a good guy. The problem is I just don't understand. Like, then it's time to stay out of it. Like, don't be in it. You know what I mean? Do I think what he's saying is true? Absolutely. I mean, Lisa Rinna and Harry Hamlin on their recent podcast, Lisa Rinna said the whole incident with Kim and Lisa Rinna when she broke the glass and stuff like that, that was very produced. Producers pushed Kim to talk about Harry. And she said, the two things that are off limits are my husband and my kids. So that's what drove her to that. But it wasn't something that Kim actually thought. Producers are doing their job. They're trying to create these storylines and these moments that are kind of timeless because, like I said, my cousin in London is going back and rewatching all these Housewives shows and picking up all these one-liners and these amazing scenes. Were they necessarily all completely true? No. But was it reality? Absolutely. So, you know, like, I don't know where I'm going with this. I just think, well, I'm going to piggyback. You sign up for when you go on a reality TV show. This is why we said no to two very big reality TV shows, because you can twist and turn and edit any way you want and make that person look any way you want.
Yes, exactly. And what I'm going to piggyback off of is we've known this for a long time. A lot of people, unless like you're really immersed into the world or you know some of the people who are filming these shows, you don't realize this because it's just one of those things you kind of just like, there's no need to know, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But like a lot of times when cast members are sitting around at dinner tables or whatever, they have their phones out and producers are texting them key points, or they'll walk behind on the other side to make sure they're out of the camera angle, and they'll hold up a sign behind. Like the other day, I watched it. I literally said to Jason, they were playing last season of The Real Housewives of New Jersey, and you saw Rachel Fuda looking at her phone, and I said to Jason, I said, producers are texting her right now. And Jason said, why do you say that? And I said, watch. And all of a sudden, swear to God, she waited for the moment. And girl was good. You need an opening. You can't just like not, you can't just
jump in.
Yeah. But she was waiting for the moment and she was like, you know what? You want to talk about my husband can hot dog lips? Like, what the fuck have you done with your life except go to prison, you stupid bitch? And it was like,
Lord,
oh my God. But I don't even remember the episode. I just know as soon as she looked at her phone, that's exactly what was happening. And lo and behold, that's what happened. But going back over to Todd and Alexia and stuff, you know, producers do plant a lot of seeds and they try to, with Lisa Rinna and stuff, they try to get you going. And that's a part of the game too. And I agree with what Jason also said. You still put yourself in the game. So if you sit at the blackjack table and you put 100 on red and it hits black, that's your problem, dude. You gambled.
I know. I mean, that's where I go with that. I understand where he's coming from. I get the whole emotion behind it. This isn't the first time that we've seen this. But at the same time, it's like, but then stay out of it. That's what I don't understand. Yes, Stephanie might have said something on the show in relation to him, you know, but she doesn't know him, right? So for you to go on Instagram, and I'm not defending anyone here, I'm just saying for you to go on Instagram and attack Stephanie, Masood, and their business because they have like a bankruptcy.
Or their house is in foreclosure.
Their house is in foreclosure.
Like
There's a lot of stuff on Reddit, guys, which you can only believe half of. Like I said before, rich people do things differently. They know how to maneuver money differently. I don't think they're in foreclosure. I mean, yes, that could be part of the plan. I have no idea. There's ways that they use the system, right? But this is like another thing. and I'm just giving a plug, Caroline Stanbury's podcast, Uncut and Uncensored. You can go listen to 2 interviews with Stephanie Chauget, where
I love how
back
you
in
say
the
her
day,
name now. Like
well,
I
now
feel like
I'm trying to say it right, but there's so
Yeah.
many different ways. And I'm like, I've heard Chauget is how she said it. So I'm like, I'm just trying to do it right.
Yeah.
But there are 2
Respect.
interviews, one from back in like 2022, before she was even a housewife. And that was the one where I believe his ex-wife was trying to sue her for something that she said on the podcast. And there's a newer one. Go listen to some of the interviews. They're quite interesting and they answer a lot of questions. So all these people who are on Reddit, like making their own theories, it's really interesting when you can just pull up a podcast and kind of like hear it from the horse's mouth, you know?
Well, and that's what I was going to say too, is it is true. It's like, if you're going to take shots, man, like, yeah, if you're going to put yourself and you're going to re-immerse yourself, you know, there were so many times and
that's what it is. Sorry.
God,
you're re-immersing yourself. Stay out
do
stay out
the
of lawsuit. That's it.
Jason and I have, and I'm just going to use this as a very quick, like meek, subtle example. On YouTube, we have had, you know, other situations with other content creators where you get attacked. And we have always just taken the higher road where we just keep our mouths shut. And so it's like, we didn't ask for that, you know, like we're not even entertaining you. And we're not entertaining any of the fodder for the sole purpose that we didn't want this to keep happening. Now, whether it does or not, that's not our problem, but we chose a different route. Now, Todd didn't choose that route. Todd didn't take the higher road. Todd said, I'm a businessman who makes a lot of fucking money. I have a lot of respect in Miami, and you're not going to sit here and talk about me. And now you wanted me to be quiet. I'm not going to be quiet anymore. You hit a nerve. It's different.
Yeah.
But he also has a lot to protect. So we're going to move on. The next person I wanted to talk about.
Can we just say though, just
What?
like Miami is just so good.
And, oh my God.
You know, we said this on Hot Messy on Friday. It's so fun to turn that on because you're not watching the clock. Like, and I said this Friday with Below Deck, I'm like, okay, shit, we're 15 minutes in, nothing's happened. We're 30 minutes in, nothing's happened. And then Miami, it's like, we're waiting for it to come back from commercial. And it's like, oh shit, it's over. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's fun. Like we're enjoying it. And it's just such a good show because they're just having fun. I really enjoy it.
It's a great show. Okay, so we're gonna take it over to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills because we have some updates on the new season. But also, I did a video on this later for the people who are not catching this live. I'm gonna put it on Up and Adam channel too. To me, I'm a Cancer, you guys. I get emotional about shit. But like when somebody talks about like hating themselves so much or hating the way that they look or whatever, and that they want to unalive themselves, like that just. I think that anybody who's a human being and has compassion or heart would just empathize and sympathize with that. And actually, I want to take this moment for 2 seconds, real quick, and not a victim because nobody's a victim. I don't care. But
we talked about the pointing.
Oh, Jason said that I have to start doing the Disney thing. We went out to dinner the other night. I pointed at somebody, and at Disney, they do this. You can't point because it's rude. It's aggressive. So you have to direct. Okay.
Yes.
So I saw, with the Hello prenup last night, I sat in the bathtub for an hour and 41 minutes and I watched the entire interview and I was like, oh my God, Jason, this is so great. Like when you're in it and you're talking, you don't think about everything that you've been through. Like you're in the moment, like you don't even really think about what you're saying. You think that it's almost like you're on like autopilot, and you're just talking about experiences. But when you go back and you digest like really everything that's happened throughout the course of your relationship or your lifetime, it's almost fascinating, So I was looking at it from that perspective, so incredibly proud of Jason and myself for even doing this. And then I see stupid comments about like, Adam, your face is so fucking fat. What happened to it? And I'm like,
I know, Adam, it's always, dude, it's always from some stupid account.
Well, and that's what
face. We talked about this on the interview too. It's just keyboard warriors. It's just,
I know, but what's so funny? They asked me at Starbucks today about it because they follow everything, and they were like, what happened? And what were you talking about, your ass? I said, no, I was just like, if you think my face changed, wait till you see my ass. I gained 30 pounds working out at F45. But the whole point was, even if you think that you want to get behind a keyboard and you want to talk about somebody, just be careful, guys, because Karma's a mother and she didn't have a parasite 2 years before this, and her face looked dramatically different, which goes to show and remind you things can change on a dime. So when you think that you want to sit there and be really nasty to somebody and talk about their looks or what's going on in their life, be really, really careful about that, because you don't want to invite that negativity into your own life. And I'm not trying to preach, but it is true. Sorry.
No, and it's true. And, I have to say, our community here on Up and Atom, what we tried to do at the very beginning was to build a positive community, something a little more whatever. I mean, yeah, we have catty little fun when we're on here, hot, messy topics, or whatever, having opinions, talking about the shows, reacting to the shows. That's fun. But I would say like 90% of this community just is so supportive and so sweet in the way they communicate with each other. But I do notice a lot of like 10% of comments that are just like horrible that come in. And we heavily moderate things that have like really horrible things in them. We have moderators to do that. But they're not subscribed to the channel. You know what I mean? So I'm just happy we have such a good, we have a good community.
We have a great community. All right. Well, guys, I'm going to play the clip. Entertainment Tonight. Thank you so much. Whew. Oh God. I mean, this actually, like this one breaks my heart, but here we go.
Your face looks wildly much better. How are you feeling after the Nair incident?
Well, that was nothing. Put it on. My mom put like tea bags on my face because it's like old fashioned thing that she does. And it turned brown. So it looked like someone scorched my face.
Have you ever been given a clear diagnosis that you had a parasite?
He couldn't say for sure that there was or wasn't a specific type, but they treated me with all of these parasitic medications and I did feel better. I just didn't look better. I think if I had one, it's definitely gone, but I am left with some residual, really weird, crazy things that we're trying to figure out.
You said you had spent around $70,000 in medical bills.
It's well over 100 and something now. I saw 21 doctors. 21 doctors. I want to live my life again. I want to go outside. I want to socialize.
Your face looks wild.
Okay. Yeah. I love that she believes that the parasite's gone. I hate that you even had to deal with that. And now from what we've heard, and I don't know this to be true, so I'm going to say that, but from what we've heard, I think that Brandi Glanville has even depleted her funds to the point that she's living with a friend. And what's wild is Jason and I talk about this all the time. We talked about it on Hello Prenup, the podcast. We talk about how people, you go on these shows and it's so, you see somebody like a teacher or I don't know, like an EMT or somebody who works their ass off and they just go all year. You don't get breaks and you're so underappreciated. And then you walk away with like $30, $40, $50, $60,000, which is still a lot of money, but then you get to go on a TV show. You get to be an asshole and you get to like throw a drink in somebody's face or slap them. Ow, that fucking actually hurt, but slap them. And
why don't you do it again?
yeah. I guess I don't know. I do things in twos. But then you look and you're getting paid $500,000. Now, when you spend all of that money and you're not saving it and you're not reinvesting in it, that I think is where the question marks raise over like Jason and I. We wonder, like, what were you thinking? And how do you get yourself in this position where now you had everything, but you're living in somebody's guest room? What happened?
It's crazy. Like even Lisa Rinna talked about this. I can't believe I'm bringing her up so much. I keep seeing clips of her and stuff. And she was talking about how expensive it is for the glam and the stuff like that. And it can be. I even talked about this, like you said, on the Hello Prenup podcast. We have a lot of friends who are on Bravo, a lot. Some are producers, some are on the shows. They're the talent. Some are on smaller, newer shows like Hospitality. Some have been on Southern Charm for a long time, or Vanderpump Rules, or Housewives. And it's a lot because once you start getting that paycheck and you start getting that notoriety and that fame, you have to keep up with your caricature because that's who you are to everyone else. That doesn't necessarily mean that's who you are in person. The only people who don't have to ever worry about this are the Real Housewives of Dubai. They never did before because doing glam is just another day in the life. You know what I mean? But
That's like a loose comment though. Like that's not, it's not, they're not the only people, but like they're like probably the only full cast. You know what I mean? Because then
you
got
have someone like Lisa Vanderpump.
you got
Lisa Vanderpump
Bethenny.
does her own hair. I mean, sometimes you can tell, sometimes you can't, you know, but sometimes it's really good.
Yeah. But it's like, you know, like you still have a Candy, you still have a Bethenny, you still have a Lisa, but that cast probably is hands down the wealthiest cast. You know that.
Oh, which one? Dubai?
Yeah, Dubai.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Yeah.
But since we're talking about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, well, guys, that means that we just got to get in because there's a lot to discuss since we don't actually know what the is happening right now. They're still filming. We know about Rachel Zoe. We've heard about Denise Richards and Rachel Zoe. Rachel not wanting to film with her. By the way, 500 plus in the room. Smash the like button, guys. Show some love.
Please. And thanks for the nice comments too.
And thanks for the great comments. Yeah. And I don't know why I'm grabbing my boob, but okay.
Do you have one to grab?
Yeah, puppies. Okay. I wanted to talk. This is what's being leaked. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Thank you to the Real Housewives Zone. This is what they're saying. I have not heard this for myself, but you got my attention. They're saying that Bose and Dorit had a rough patch. Good.
Love.
I wanted to see.
I can't wait. Yes.
I want that conflict. I want Bose came out and said, you know, as a businesswoman, because if you guys don't remember, this woman is a boss. She said, if I would hire anyone to work for my business, it would be Dorit. And I'm like, what do you?
Oh, yeah, because Beverly Beach worked out so well.
What about the wedding dresses?
Oh, shit. No one remembers that. Beverly Beach, Beverly not having weddings. Like, I don't know. Like,
yeah,
she was just trying to be nice, I think.
Yeah. Well, maybe. Also, Oz Fly Girl, enjoy all of the polls that you've been creating, Adam. Thank you. Now, going back to it, she said that. So if they're having a little conflict resolution, we love it. They also said Denise could be a friend of. Not a fan. I don't want that. I think that Denise ruined her chance of being on the show. I didn't find Denise to be interesting. I really didn't.
I know, but she wasn't going through a divorce. A messy one.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So a lot of people want to see that right now, including myself. Like, this is the first time in a long time I've actually been really excited for Beverly Hills. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
I remember the episode I fell off. It was the episode when they were in Palm Springs reading the LA Times article about Erica. Then it became all the Erica Tom Girardi thing. And that lasted forever. No one else was interesting. And no other storylines were happening. And, like we were bringing people onto the cast that didn't belong there. Eden Sassoons and who was the other one? Deanna Jenkins. Like, it's like, what are we doing? So I fell off for a long time. Last season was fine. Maybe the season before, maybe, sure. But like this, I'm excited for. Just watching them. There's been so many leaks of them filming in various places in Arizona and Italy now. And I'm watching like Rachel Zoe, Kathy Hilton. I mean, Jennifer Tilly, some newbies that we don't know about. Also, with everything happening with PK and Dorit, with everything always happening with Kyle, I just hope she shares it. I'm excited for this season. I think it's going to be a good season. We might.
I don't think that I was going to say unpopular opinion. I don't think that this is an unpopular opinion. I think it's actually a very popular opinion. I don't want to hear not a king thing about Morgan this season.
I'm over Morgan Wade and that shit.
I don't want to hear about it.
Either you bring her on and you
own it,
you're with her. You own it or you don't. Like, we're done. I mean, your sister owned it for you on the reunion. Let's be honest.
Actually, he's not wrong. I'll say that. But
yeah,
now newbie Amanda Francis, which we talked about on Friday, she apparently went head to head with Sutton and Dorit, and they're saying that Rachel Zoe was an immediate fit right into all of it, which we like.
She knows all of them.
If you guys haven't seen, well, here they are, because people were talking about them going on an Australian trip, which turned out to be false. Instead, they went to Italy. Oh, well, we're not playing that because copyright. But here they are. All of them. Here's everybody filming them. Just like that.
They look fat. This looks like a Beverly Hills cast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they look, I'm actually excited. And I know, listen, I always I don't like the Morgan Wade shit, but I get a lot of shit for saying this. I just want to say it again. It would not be Beverly Hills without Kyle on the show, because she is like one of our last or the last OG left on the show. Am I not mistaken in that?
Yeah. No, she's the last.
She's the last, and she keeps going, you know, and I love it. I love it.
You know,
I mean, I don't always love her season after season. Sometimes I really do, because she has some great moments as well. But I just can't imagine that show. It's like New York without all the OG. It's New York without Dorinda. It's New York without Bethenny. It's New York without all of that cast. You know what I mean?
What's so funny
like, I
is
can't imagine her not there.
The baton was passed. It was Candy Burris who was the longest running housewife. But when she left, and it
Loved
just
her
got
too.
passed to Tamra Judge. Now Tamra Judge is technically the longest running housewife. And
But not in a row. Not in a row.
Not in a row.
In a row.
Not in a row.
Kyle Richards might hold that right now.
Yep, she might hold that.
You know?
But since Jason was talking about Lisa Rinna, you guys know we missed the iconic hot dog lips that Rachel Fuda said and all of the things. And you better believe I'm going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the husbands and all of it. So
oh, shit.
If you're missing,
what are we talking about?
If you're missing her, here's a little clip. Okay.
Liberated that I did it for 8 years and I gave it my all. I feel super liberated about that. I don't think there was any more I could have done.
No. And I think you have to know when to leave the party.
Very hard to leave that party. It was one of the hardest things to do. You know, I was saying this the other day. I almost did it at the reunion. I almost left while I was sitting at the reunion. I almost announced it while I was sitting there. And I stopped myself.
But you came home that night from the reunion and told me, so I'm done. I'm finished.
I sent the email at like 12 o'clock at night, but I almost did it sitting there. And I wish I had, because no one's ever done that. I wish I had the balls. I was too chicken at the time to say, you know what, guys, this has been a great run, but I'm going to be done now. This is going to be it. I wish I'd done that. If I were to do it again, I would do it that way. I feel liberated that.
Let's do it again. Come back.
What? Huh?
Come back for a season.
Yeah, just come back to the reunion.
Come back for a season.
Like, and just let us know, like, go yourself, you know, like bravo, fucking bravo. You know,
I do have to say, you know, like I did think when she was on though, that especially that last season, it was a little too much. And I think everyone felt that way at that time. But now a lot of people miss Lisa Rinna, but I have been actually enjoying her podcast on Dear Media quite a bit with Harry.
I have the same,
pretty good.
I have the same sort of fear though, because there's a lot of times that I think that fans don't necessarily know what you're requesting from the network. Like when you come in droves and things, God, it takes off like wildfire. Like fan feedback, when you start hating somebody, people come in droves and they're all like, I'm on the bandwagon. I hate, oh God, my redneck came out. Sorry. The bandwagon. It's like they come in droves and they keep going, you know? And for Lisa Rinna, when she left, people really, really missed her because she was the shitster. She was the one who was the pilot moving all of the storylines. She never really had a big storyline of her own. Unfortunately, we saw her lose her mother Lois, and that was just terrible. Nobody planned for that.
Horrible.
Right? But like, and then she talked about her daughter's eating disorder a little bit. Harry's sauce. Ugh.
I mean, no one cares. They're better.
Nobody cares about.
No one cares about that. We don't want to. We don't want Housewives or Meghan Markle, anybody making food or wine. Like, just leave that to the side. But I do have to say, you know, going back to Lisa, did you ever see that interview with Elaine as well?
No.
And Elaine was like, you know, sometimes we sit down and because, you know, when you're a soap actor, you're on set for a very long time. Sometimes you get scripts like the day before. It's not like you're filming a real TV
Don't they
show.
do it like the day of too?
Sometimes the day of, they will rewrite things and whatever. So she's used to being in situations where it's a long day, using her talent, but like she's doing stuff. She said that on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, when you would sit down, they needed a moment, but sometimes they'd be sitting down for like an 8-hour dinner. She's like, we got to like let's go. Let's like create a moment now. So that's where her and Lisa work together a lot. I thought that was really interesting. It's very interesting to hear what they're saying now that they're not on the show.
Well, I guess my next question would be, you know, like the way that people missed Lisa Rinna after she left because she was such a driving force for like the storylines and the conflict and people were like, we want her off. She's so toxic. And then when she was gone, people were like, this is so boring. Are they going to do the same thing with the Valley and Jax? Like, are people going to come back after he's gone? And no, you think it's different?
Do you
No,
want
I'm
me to
being
give you
serious,
my
though, like,
foresight? No, I can tell you my foresight for the Valley. It's
Okay.
a successful show. It's coming back. Like everyone who's like, it's not coming back. It's so bad.
They're
The
about to
ratings were
film.
great. They're filming. Yeah, I think they are. No, they're about to film. They are filming. We're gonna be with a few of them next week in Palm Springs. But
so there's not much that I can say, but they're filming a season 3. Yes.
Yeah, of course they are, and we knew that. But like, yeah, okay. So take Jax off for a season. Maybe like let him go get some real help, see if it works, and bring him back. You know, he's not going anywhere in a sense of you're not going to hear from him or about him, because if Brittany stays on the show, that's always going to be something that's implemented. However, I think the cast can carry it. You know what I mean? Like, I think the cast is good. You're bringing Scheana onto the show. Now we have the Scheana and Brock situation and the leftover of the book. That's going to be a focus, you know?
Well,
has Lala been confirmed for the show or no?
Lala was the one who went on her Amazon Live and she's like, you guys are all asking me, but I can't confirm. But like,
that means you haven't been offered.
If
okay.
You guys no, it means that she's definitely been offered. And because otherwise you would say no. But going back over to it, I can already tell you what's going to happen. Lala is probably going to make a little bit of a pact with Scheana. They're probably going to have a mutual understanding, because Lala is going to have to hold Brock accountable. Like, I trusted you. My daughter was around you. What kind of man are you? And then when Brock gets into the fray with like somebody like Jason Caperna or one of the other men like Kristen Doute's guy, what's going to happen is they're going to be like, who the fuck are you? You cheated on your pregnant wife. And then that's how that's going to. So it's going to be the main central storyline. You know what I mean? That's how they're
so funny. We were talking about this the other night when it comes to the Valley, Adam. We were talking about how like people are just, they seem different. I can tell you that Scheana is the same person on TV as she is in person. Okay. The same Scheana you're getting on TV is the same Scheana. And there's something to be said for that. The Lala you see on TV is not Lala Lala is one of the nicest people I've ever come across ever. And I wanted to talk about too, because every season of a show has a huge villain. People love to hate Janet Caperna. They love to hate her. And I'm watching it and you're watching it and we're like, okay, she's just doing her job, but I don't think she's been as horrible as people are making her. But if you guys met her in real life, she's super cool and super nice. So
I have to give it to Scheana. Yes, I have to give it to Scheana because one, she is absolutely the same person, right? On camera, off. Lala, she owns. Literally, she will go on her podcast and she's like, guys, when I come on, I'm like, you want to go around and find out? You want to get popped? And like, she turns into like Dorinda, old school, like, you want to go? We're going to go. And then like, as soon as the cameras go down or as soon as they're not filming, she's just in mommy mode and she's like the happiest person. But she will tell you, I know the job, I understand the assignment, and I turn it on for the job. Cool. Okay. You're honest about it. We'll take it. You know what I mean? But
there are some people I love when you have the people who are the same on the show as they are in real life, because you have so many housewives that portray something that they're not, right? They try to be something. They play a caricature. I'm not going to mention like half of the ones on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City that are not like they are. But then Lisa Vanderpump is the same. Dorinda is the same. You know, like we have, I don't know. It's just, it's interesting to watch. It's interesting.
It's definitely interesting to watch because
Toaster JB, sorry, Adam. Melrose Place, definitely one of my favorite shows growing up. I used to watch it with my mom.
Live on Melrose Place?
We did. We lived on where they were supposed to be. But that's not where they filmed it. That building was actually in I believe it was in Los Feliz or something.
Oy. Okay.
I've been to that building too. I've driven past it because like, oh, this is the Melrose Place building.
But we did live on Melrose Place. Jason and I's first place that we lived together was on Melrose Place, you guys. How funny is that? Now
it's all like big stores and clubs.
I want to go back over to Scheana for a second because I'm about to play a clip, but Scheana did open up in her book about, do you guys remember Rob, he can hang a TV in like 6 minutes flat? And that season was so embarrassing for her because it was like, Rob, I love Rob. Rob can hang a TV. Guys, do you know about Rob? Rob. So Brock
also hung a TV, but it fell.
No, Rob hung the TV. That
Oh,
film.
that was the TV?
Yeah, that was the TV.
Didn't
That was
who
that
hung
was
Charlie's TV?
Rob.
Rob? Oh, should have Brock and Scheana not been together very long, or am I just? Or was season 8 that long ago?
It was that long ago, dude. They were on season 11, and now
Oh
they're
my god,
like
we were
a
still
year plus
working at
off. Yeah,
Vanderpump. Oh my god.
because that's when they had us come in to interview after season 8. Remember, because they were going to go into the 2 shows. They were going to do the Valley, and they were the segue was going to be Stassi's Italian Wedding. They all got canceled, and then everybody ended up going separate. But she ends up opening up in her book about Rob and saying that he admitted that months before filming, he wanted to break up with her, but instead he didn't want to screw her out of a storyline. So he decided to stay with her while they film. Let me just say, I'm going to defend Scheana on this. Dude, you're a D-bag. Like, he said, I wanted to stay with her because I felt embarrassed. Like, I wanted her to have some sort of storyline. No, you didn't feel embarrassed enough, because the whole season she's like, I love Rob. Rob's amazing, this incredible guy. And you acted
it's always
like
somebody.
Well,
Just read the book.
He acted like she had the plague. You know, he was like treating her like, get away from me. So if you really wanted to do her a favor, you would have just opted out of filming. And I thought that it was like, people always use some bullshit answer or excuse. It's like, no, what you should have done was man up and say, hey, I'm not interested and I don't want to film this show. So maybe your storyline is like, I just came out of a breakup and I'm going to be dating this season, instead of looking like a boy hungry moron. You know what I mean?
Not Scheana.
Yeah, well,
she could never.
Last but not least, when it comes to the Vanderpump Rules, the Valley.
I love how you push me off stage left whenever I bring up something like that. You're like,
oh no,
okay, let's move along.
No. I'm not pushing you off. Did you feel like that? I never want you to feel like you're not validated and listened to.
Shut the front door, girl. Okay, let's move on.
Bitch, if you want to go to Toes, I'll make like Lala. You want to get popped?
Okay.
You want to get popped?
I'll make like Judice. You want to know what happened?
Oh shit. Oh, I can't go up against that, you guys. I can't go up against that. Okay, so apparently you guys know that, and this is actually kind of comical. Lisa Vanderpump, Scheana, I don't know what is going on. Kristen Doty was the one who I feel like originally ignited all of this stuff. By the way, 600 in the room, smash the like button. But Kristen Doty was the one that shared that there was something about Lisa in this memoir, probably a couple months before the memoir came out. And then Lisa was asked about it, and she's like, well, if she needs to talk about me to sell her book, then okay. And then she was asked about it again on TMZ. It was the same day that Ozzy Osbourne died. And paparazzi were like, well, Scheana said this about the book. And she was like, I don't care about that, you know? And so it was just like negative reactions. However, if you're Lisa Vanderpump, she's looking at it like, I gave you guys a platform. I gave you an opportunity. How about a thank you? And so she's looking at it from a different perspective. I never
whereas we're on a reality show. So all these people signed up for a reality show where we were just talking about this with Todd. They're looking for moments. You are going to be produced. You have a handler. You have someone who is going to be taking care of the storyline of the show. You're really like, when you're on a reality show, you're a piece of the chessboard. And everybody who gets like a couple seasons on a reality show, they pretend they are the king and queen of the chessboard, and they're not.
Yeah.
Checkmate, bitch. Like, it just doesn't happen like that, you know?
Well, yeah. No, it will. And it's the same thing that at the end of season, I think it was season 8. I think that was Jax's last season 8, where he was like, this is my show. And Lisa was like, no, bitch, let me check you really quick. This is my show. And you never saw him again. And then this season on the Valley, he ends up saying to Zach, he's like, you're on my show. And he's like, it wasn't your show for the last 30 days. And you got kicked off again. You know what I mean? So be careful when you start feeling like really, really big and you want to start exercising your bowing out.
You see it even with the newer shows. You know, one of our close friends is also Leva, right? She has a great show right now, Southern Hospitality, which is thriving, especially in streaming numbers and on Peacock and stuff. But you see a few already. It's like, here we go. Here the egos start to take over, and you know that's not your show. That's Leva's show. You know, so it's just like, play the game if you want to be on the show. If you don't be on the show.
Right. Vanderpump Rules Party podcast ended up giving us a clip, and it looks like Scheana was talking to one of her. I don't know if Kiki Monique is a co-host, but I think I would call her a co-host because she's pretty frequent on Shenanigans. I think that they do.
Yeah.
You know what?
I actually, because you know why they do a good job together, because Scheana has someone to bounce off of, and that will balance her a little bit.
No. It's great. I think that they do.
Great,
I think they do a great job, but they end up opening up about this. So here's the clip. I'm going to play it, and let's go.
So somebody got a phone call. And if you've read my book, you know about those phone calls.
It'd be very nice if you were to tweet a little thing.
You know, in support of me, I can't tell you what to say.
We have terrible English accents.
But like, I'm wondering, is that why Stassi didn't post for the book? Did she get a phone call also? I mean, she's now in London with the Queen, so
she didn't post at all?
Not at all. Not even a text.
And you guys are cool. Like, your kids hang out.
She commented when I posted the book, like that I was releasing it. She commented a congratulations. But I'm like, I've been so supportive of all 3 of her books. I've always posted. I've showed up to her book signings. I've pre-ordered every book. I've also received my gifted one. I have 2 copies of all of her books in my fucking houses.
Yeah.
So I was really disappointed by that.
That sucks.
And I don't think I said anything bad about her in the book where it's like, I'm not going to support this book.
Yeah.
But there are certain people I'm like, I see you. I see you. I see you. And Peter was one I saw. So somebody.
That did not do her any favors. You're muted, but that did not do her any favors.
Well, I'm going to
zero
defend
favors.
I know,
Stassi
but I'm
is filming. They're filming. She doesn't have time for your book, right? She's not in your show.
I know.
Are we seeing Stassi or not Stassi? Are we seeing Scheana next week? I need to be careful what I say.
I don't know. But
I have questions for her actually.
I'm going to play some devil's advocate here because,
of course, you are.
Scheana came out and said that she didn't understand why Stassi took the whole route of being a part of, Vanderpump Villa. But I guess if you're going to get a
because she's moved on,
you're going to be rewarded, then why not? So when you came out and questioned that, Stassi's one of those people too. She kind of reminds me a little bit of like a Tamra. When you say something, if they can find an inkling of something to be like, bitch, what? Then they will. And so if you said that, then she's probably looking at you like, okay, well, you said that about me. Why am I going to congratulate you? I don't owe you anything. And she's not contributing to my life.
They are filming.
Yep.
They are filming right now.
Yeah.
Okay. And it has nothing to like, Stassi has moved on. Vanderpump Rules has been dead to her for a while. You know what I mean? She's moved on. Obviously, Scheana stayed on the fray for a long time and then now thank God, got picked up for the Valley, and the book definitely helped. And I think like a lot of people who have watched Scheana over the years who don't know her, like we do and stuff, of course they're interested in her book and what she's been through and all the reality TV. I just think there's a lot of like, even someone in the live chat just said they think Lisa is a puppet master. Of course, it's called a producer. You know what I mean? She's an executive producer. She wants a successful show. She gave you the platform to be on that. You chose to be on that platform, Todd. So like that's my thing. It's just like, let it go.
Let it go.
You know what I mean? Let it go. I can tell you, even to this day, you've heard from Lisa's camp and Lisa. We just saw them at BravoCon like 2 years ago. They're super lovely. When she says, I just want people to be happy and successful for people who like worked for me or been on my show, that is the absolute truth. But also this is called entertainment. If you sign up for a reality show, just know that you're getting into a lot of shit. Okay. Well, that's how I feel about it.
And nobody's safe. Like on a reality show, like there's nobody ever who has said it better than Dorinda on this specific point. If you're going onto a reality show and you have skeletons in your closet, do not go on the reality show. Between the Bachelor fandom and also the Bravo fandom, if there's anything for people to find, they will
find it. Yes.
My God, nobody's safe from anything, whether it's foreclosures, you cheated, you did this, you got a love child. I don't know. They'll find
I gotta say something, it's Care Bears in the live chat says Scheana's so ungrateful. And, when we did her live show, I just kind of felt a little bit like that. But I do kind of feel like, okay, now you have all of this popularity and we're writing off the last season of Vanderpump Rules and just attacking Lisa. That's just not the way to do it. You know what I mean? That's not the way to continue that. So
Marianne Stout said, Adam, stop defending Scheana. She wouldn't do it for you. That's a fact.
Well, that's been proven.
Well, you know, just because, guys, I'm always like rooting for everybody. That's not true.
I know. Now, you know what? No. I'm actually, you know, I'm rooting for Scheana too. I want to see her on the Valley. I said this before. I didn't like the cameos in season 2, but they needed a way to kind of segue them in a little bit. I just didn't. It just looked like, here, let me just be Scheana, right? Yeah, like, why are you here, girl? Like, you're not needed in the conversation with Jesse by the pool. You're not needed here. But now, because you are friends with everyone, and that's what people also tend to forget, and including myself, I'll admit it. So Scheana, if you're watching or whatever, you know, she did bring Janet into the friend group. Janet, Jasmine, Scheana, all of them have been friends for so long. So it would be such an easy integration for Scheana to be in that group of people. But I think season 3 of the Valley might be one of the better seasons without Jax.
I am going to say this too. Like, I feel like with the whole integration, that is a production part of how they integrate them. That's not necessarily.
They did not do a good job.
It's like
did not do a good job.
If somebody gives you a fucking stupid uniform, like you work at a fast food place and they're putting a hot dog on your head, like you can't help it. You got to do the job. Now you got to wear this stupid hot dog hat and like you're going into it. Love an analogy, but like it's the same thing. It's like you can't help it. You still want to make the money. You want to do the job. You want to make sure that you have longevity, but then sometimes you're put in stupid situations that even you know are dumb.
Yeah,
that's what one of those what. But
let me bring this up too really quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Because Sunny in the live chat says she's not needed in the Valley. Please no. You know, it's so crazy. I really like Scheana, and I sometimes don't like Scheana, but I do like her. I think season 3 needs her, and I think that it is the right fit, but only time will tell. Only time will tell. You know, she has had 10 seasons of Vanderpump Rules under her. Or sorry, 11 seasons. 11 seasons of Vanderpump Rules, and she has been a main cast member and a friend.
Yep.
She knows how to play the game. She knows how to work the camera. Actually, to be honest, she knows how to hold a stage too. Maybe not in this last tour, but when we did her show with her at the Bourbon Room and you hosted it and we wrote it, she killed it. You know, she is able to be when she wants to be. She's, you know,
and she has her go-to too.
We'll see. We'll see.
She has her nervous laugh, which kind of reminds me of my sister-in-law. Like, and this is nothing but love because we all have like a nervous tick. Like Jason always makes fun of me because I do this thing with my tongue in inside of my mouth where I go, like where I just, when I'm nervous. And Jason's like, I don't know what that is. And then I became Canadian. And I'm like, oi, oi. And that's also when I get nervous. But she has this like thing about her when there is time to be filled or something is like a little awkward where it's like, you know? And it's like,
but not like a Meredith Marks one. They're like,
oh, God, no,
fucking love it.
Okay. All right. So we're moving on. You guys
bring Meredith Marks onto the Valley.
No.
Leave Why? Maybe her and James Kennedy can do a DJ off.
No.
That'd be a show.
That would
Who would be more, you know, it's so funny.
But no.
Let me wait really quick. James Kennedy, if you ever watch some of his shows, right? Or follow him on Instagram or whatever, you watch his shows and he's doing so much work. He's like, yeah, pumping in the crowd, shaking the bottle, you know, like all that shit. Meredith Marks has to stand there and just do this. $3 million contract at a club in Vegas. And you know what? Meredith Marks is way more interesting to watch.
But Meredith does more like this, like with the headphones. And guys, by the way, this is not shade. We love Meredith, but she does more like this, like
beyond.
And then she goes like this, like, yes, like with the headphones. And she's like,
brings it up,
turns around and you're like, where did you go?
The turnaround at the DirecTV, it's like they don't even know. That's why I said this Friday too. All of the comments from those videos on TikTok were like, I love whatever is wrong with them. And I love them. Yeah. You know, I'm so excited for Salt Lake.
Oh, we love them. But moving on. You guys know that this week we watched The Real Housewives of Orange County, and it was an absolute shit show. This was the week where apparently Tamra quit, which obviously she didn't stick with. Now we have some fan feedback, but more importantly, she came out and people were wondering, what was wrong with you? Remember when Gina Kirschenheiter looked at her and said, no, bitch, you're at my table. And right now I think you're being incredibly rude to all of these people. And like, absolutely, you are so up right now and you're either intoxicated or something is wrong with you, but you don't get to come here and do that. And she's like, really? Really, Gina? I'm done.
Really, Gina? And then it just like stared. That's why I thought it was like, she took one of her own gummies.
What?
Like,
no,
I
no,
really
no.
did.
She came out and said that she mixed Xanax with alcohol.
Now I know,
But
now I know what not to do. I don't take Xanax, so thank God.
I've never had a Xanax in my life, so
well, you might actually benefit from that, yeah.
Okay, relax. But there were some things that came out because it was Tamra who posted, God forbid you guys ever, can you see this?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. God forbid you guys ever have to, deal with the pain and depression I was dealing with. They wonder why I left. Maybe I should have gotten a DUI for you to feel compassion.
Wait, the pain and depression from what? Your CBD company reaching $30 million?
No. What? She was talking about like what she was going through with Teddy at the time. And Gretchen Rossi posted this, which I was like, okay. She said, yes, Tamra, I have actually dealt with the pain and depression you were talking about, and it was horrible. Remember, my fiance actually died and Slade's son actually died from cancer, but you had not 1 ounce, is what she meant, of grace, not one once. Gretchen, we're going to need you to fucking fact check over here.
Oh, okay.
Not 1 ounce of grace for us. Instead, you spun lies about Jeff and I, plotted with the guy who I took to court and now have 7 counts against and over $1 million judgment against to cause me pain and suffering during that time. And then you went on your podcast, you made false statements about Slade and I after his son died and spun lies about us again with no remorse for your actions, only excuses like you always do. You never gave us grace, and you never gave your bestie Shannon grace when she was going through the worst time of her life. So
that's very fucking true.
Instead, you buddied up to Alexis and called Shannon every name in the book last year, and then you blamed your bad behavior on being on the spectrum. So yeah, this is pretty rich coming from you.
I forgot about the spectrum thing.
It rubs me the wrong way. And this is the short list, by the way. And Tamra said, how cute. She thinks I care about her compassion. I want nothing from you. My post was not referring to you, MAGA liar.
Oh, here's the MAGA thing going around in the OC.
Doesn't that happen a lot?
I would be careful. I'd be careful. What?
You always say the MAGA thing with OC.
Like that, like it's like, what are you doing? Calling everyone this? I can't. No. Yeah.
But
what an excuse.
Because truly,
but people are going to attack her for that. You know what I mean? Like that's where she was coming from. Tamra was like, let me put this comment in here so people are going to attack you.
Well, because
that's everything else.
That's the interesting part. Like, like Jason and I have always maintained the same stance since we came on to YouTube and podcasts and stuff like that. Like, he comes from a totally different religious background than I do, because mine was like going to the Everglades and, like catching our food. And Jason's was Mormon and Jewish. Like we always had different things that were going on, but then also politics, things like that. It's not like dinner table conversation because it's so quick to start a fight. Right. And
oh, yeah. No, politics is horrible. I mean, listen, my brother lives and breathes politics, and he like thinks, a president or a politician is going to be our fucking savior. If you pay attention, if you've been alive as long as I have, all 42 years, which I'm sure many people in the chat have been alive much longer and seen a lot more things, that no one cares about us. And not one person sitting in that White House is going to help us significantly. It takes an army. It takes everybody working together. It takes bipartisan work to make things happen. Like I just don't, I think politics they're so out of line with today's world. It's unbelievable. No matter which side you're on, it goes too far this way, too far that way.
Can I say, like, you guys know too in the live chat, like I have a big family. I love my family so much, and Jason same. But like, if I ever just like get annoyed at the dinner table, or if I want to just like, I'm like, oh, this is boring, I will make like Lisa Rinna and Elaine from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And I'm like, so did you guys watch the news and see the new, like the president situation? I'll drop that bomb and I will walk my little
Walk the
hefty
fuck
ass
away quickly.
into the kitchen. I'll go grab Oreos, milk, and I'll come back out and I'll watch the show because I'm so bored with what's going on. So
You know what the best way to
What is
deal
the
with
best way to do
politics is you vote locally. Okay. You vote for people around you in your community and you work out that way. Then you vote in your state. Eventually we'll get there. And of course you know, always vote. Some states, it's, you know, I hate to say it, but like if you live in certain states, your vote doesn't really fucking count anyway. It's a weird system. Weird times we live in. We live in weird times. I'm so thankful for YouTube. You know, I got to say this really quick too, Adam, since we're on this whole situation, or maybe it's just me, about politics and life and
I was like, what? You can't
different.
go.
Yeah, sorry. It's time for me to rock and roll. I got to go. But like, I love YouTube. I spend more time now. I used to watch the news all the time. You know, that is a no-no. And it's the second time that's happened.
I don't
And I'm
know
pointing,
why
and I'm pointing.
But you told me, hold on, let me just say really quick. You told me to take my shit off of Do Not Disturb.
When you're not live.
I know, but then I forget. Well, then stop yelling at me. Then you should do
what
it.
I was going to say, I'm so thankful for YouTube because I used to watch the news and stuff like that and stay on top of all of that. It really does depress you. Actually, it's Caroline Stanbury. She's like, stop watching the news, like focus on something else. So I'm like, all right, cool. But YouTube, I love YouTube. I love YouTube. You know, I follow some great people in the tech world. I follow this amazing YouTube personality called Benita Larson, and she's like a minimalist who makes beds in Sweden and cleans her house. And I'm like obsessed. And it just opens your world to so many people's lives and so many other things. And it's really, it's really nice. It's good. I love YouTube.
Can I ask a question since we're talking about YouTube? And I feel like I give you guys, I'm always here for you guys. And I don't know what this obsession is with Jay. And I love him too. That's why I married this little D-bag over here. But like, you guys are wanting him to be president and me governor. It's like asking me to be like the first lady. Like, I can be president. Let him be governor.
You know what I mean? What country are you running?
This one.
The country of this house in Hilton Head?
I'm gonna run against Kanye.
You can't even rent our dogs outside.
Adam and Ye running for president. We're gonna go against each other.
All right. Anyway, going back to the Real Housewives of Orange County, I do have to say this has been a really good season so far. I don't know if you're enjoying it. I'm finally enjoying OC again. I love Katie Janela. I have to say, I keep saying I like her. I know a lot of people don't. Gretchen Rossi brought back, I think, is a really good call, and I actually do. I'm enjoying Tamra, Heather. We have things happening, and I feel like we actually have a group.
Well, I'm really enjoying it. The only thing that I guess I don't agree with is probably the opinion that it would be better than Miami, because hands down, I don't think.
Oh hell no, Miami, guys, Miami is here. You can't even see where Miami is.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I'm watching OC. I get through the episode. I enjoy it. When I'm watching Miami, Adam and I are laughing our asses off, especially this past 2 episodes of Adriana, like not only having these great confessionals, but also schooling us in history. Like it's PBS meets fucking Bravo is kind of great. Like, I just find it funny. I think they're smart. They're diverse. It's organic. It's fun. Like it's a great show. I can't even say anymore how great of a show it is. Now, what would make it a better show?
Oh God,
bring back Dr. Nicole Martin with this group of people. Let's switch some friends with some housewives. Julia should be a friend. Adriana should be a housewife. Let's move things around, but you cannot change that group of people.
I say keep the entire cast, bring Dr. Nicole Martin back as a friend of, to just see what the dynamics would be, because I think that she'd be good as a friend of. And let's bring back Joanna Krupa.
Okay. Like, do you think she's ever going to come back to the show?
No, but she's
Leah Black, like she's been waiting in the wings for years, but Joanna Krupa, I'm not sure about.
No, Leah Black. No, that wouldn't be good. But like for Joanna,
well, especially Krupa, now too, you know.
Yeah. She would come in, like Joanna Krupa would come in like Adele, and she'd be like, I set fire to the rain. Like she would just like light that shit up, and she'd be like, oh yeah, Adriana? Oh yeah. And she'd be like, I got my Harvard business degree.
What is she doing now?
Who? Joanna?
Joanna Krupa. Does anybody
I
know?
think she's like married or divorced or married and
Wasn't she
divorced
doing
and
like
married
top
again.
model or something in
I don't know what she's doing. Nobody knows.
Poland? Or...
Anyways, last but not least, guys, we have heard a little bit of an update. You guys keep asking me in the live chat about Real Housewives in New Jersey, and you guys have asked me so much where I looked back at the thumbnail to make sure that we did not put anybody from the Real Housewives of New Jersey, and we did not. So, there's not really a whole lot of updates, you guys. We're still waiting. We heard that Margaret Josephs, Dolores Catania, the Gorgas are potentially returning. So we're just going to leave that alone until they actually confirm anything. And I've said this, it's only a prediction. I feel like by the time they confirm what the casting is, that will be the same time, if God forbid, Teresa Giudice is not on the show, they will announce her own show. I think that they would do it pretty parallel. And I think that BravoCon, I don't know how exciting, like how many new announcements that they're going to have for BravoCon this year.
There will be.
They would reserve it for that, you know?
There are going to be some huge announcements at BravoCon, guys. Huge.
Yeah. But
I already know one of them, and it's huge.
Really?
Also, yeah. No, I've
what
told
is
you.
it?
I'm not telling you right here. I want to keep it to myself. It's huge.
You told me?
I've told you. Yeah.
I don't know what you do with your life. Like sometimes I feel like you talk to how I feel like Jason and I, if you guys don't know, like if you guys truly, when we're not on and like putting up articles for Up and Adam Live, or we're not filming or doing TikToks and stuff, I feel like he's on the phone with the housewife and I'm on the phone with the housewife. And then I feel like we get information
housewives.
And it's just so much passing that I can't even keep up with this shit anymore. But what I wanted to talk about really quick was the Real Housewives of New York. It's being rumored that Daisy Toy, who has been a hairstylist for Martha Stewart for 17 years, and she also has her own company. She might be joining the show, which I thought was kind of cool because, you know, this sounds so stupid and shallow, you guys, but it's like one of the people that I've always wanted to meet. But the fact that she's been her stylist or hairstylist or whatever for 17 years, it means that you met Snoop Dogg and you were there for all the narration and the stuff. So I'm good on you. I like
it. Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart are two of the smartest business people ever.
They're so, and Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah. Oh, and oh my God.
Yeah,
100%.
He's
I do really want to quickly, can you bring this up? Because we were talking about it earlier before we came on, and we were talking about Kim from Bravo Breaking News had a great idea. And I don't know if she meant this idea, but
oh my God, I'm surprised that you even remember.
Please bring that. No, because that to me is interesting.
Here.
Do you have?
This is it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Jill. How you doing? Good to see you. Where are you heading to? Lunch? Having lunch? Yeah, I'm working here today. Have a good day.
Hold on. I'm just going to, as you guys can still see, just to make sure that I don't have any music playing in the background that's going to get us. But okay, go ahead. Wait, I think you're muted.
Wait, you told me though.
Yeah.
You told me. So Kim from Bravo Breaking News had this idea. Wouldn't it be so cool to see Luann, Sonia, Jill, Dorinda, like well, not Bethenny, obviously, but you know, they're always in the Hamptons. Wouldn't it be cool to have a show of them in the Hamptons, having this cast in the Hamptons? Is that kind of correct? Did I describe that correctly? Or did she put it out? Thank you. Here we go.
A summer house style show with the OG legacy Real Housewives in the Hamptons in the summer in New York, because most of them don't even live in New York anymore. So it's not realistic to film them, you know, on the Upper East Side, living their day-to-day lives. But if we put them in a house together in the Hamptons for the summer, that is going to be TV gold. Like, think of it as like an Ultimate Girls Trip extended version with the legacy cast. We need Carol. We need Luann. We need Dorinda, Ramona, Sonia.
Yes.
We need them all back. I don't think that Bethenny would come back. Maybe she would film like a scene with somebody, but I really think this is an absolute great idea. Not to toot my own horn or anything,
no, I'm
but I feel like this is what we need in the world. Like, just trash the RHONY reboot, call it a loss, and let's move with the people that kind of, you know, made a name for this franchise and really gave us some of the best Real Housewives we've ever seen. We need a
Okay, so I just want to say really
agree. Okay, so agreed in whatever situation that would be in. If it's a House Hampton or Hampton House kind of whatever summer thing, or if it's like a Palm Beach Housewives kind of thing, because like, you know, that whole thing is very popular right now with Palm Royale coming back on Apple TV, and you know, so it could be interesting. Most of them live down there now.
I love the comments from Jennifer Jones. You're so like, you're messy, Jason. Marianne Stout. I know this is funny, but do you guys live in the same house? Yeah, we live in the same house.
Yeah.
We just sleep in different bedrooms.
No, we don't.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
kidding. That's a fucking dream.
What?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So moving on. What did you just change?
I didn't change anything.
Okay. Guys, with that, we covered all of the topics, and I feel like we've talked about a lot. And usually it's funny because the last Friday we ended up going longer than we normally do. And I think that this is why when we take a day off on like Mondays or like last Monday, this is why we take the day off, because this was so organic and we had fun. But when there's nothing to talk about, there's no point of having you guys come on.
I didn't say I had fun. Don't speak for me.
What?
I'm just kidding. I had a great time. I love that. One thing I really do love is the live chat. That's why when we do Anchor Watch, which we're live tomorrow to recap Below Deck at noon on Tuesday with Gelsey, I just absolutely love reacting to the live chat and stuff too, because you guys are always spot on with us. So check us out, Anchor Watch. Oh, also, Adam, do you want to tell everyone about the Real Housewives of London, or
no, you?
Okay, so the next one. I want to recap the Real Housewives of London. I know a lot of people can't watch it here. You can also, the VPN, it's a virtual private network. You can get one online and go sign up for a HeyU account, which is actually quite cheap for what they have on there and all of the content. It's way cheaper than Peacock. It's way cheaper than all these other streaming services. And you get a lot of the same kind of great reality TV. Some we've already seen though, so maybe it's not worth it. But we're going to recap the Real Housewives of London on members. For fun, and we're gonna kind of make it more personal too. We have a lot of London connections, so I just think it's so fun.
Well, I think
I miss the ladies of London. We have Caroline and Dorinda, who are two of our close friends, are going to be appearing on the show briefly. You know, it'll be fun.
I think that too. Like, this is like a fun way, guys. So this is our way of reintegrating into the members onlys, because I know that we haven't been doing that for a while. And remember, we moved to Charleston and we moved 3 times in 1 year, you guys. So there were some times that we took off, but even though we weren't doing members, there were still 5 videos going up a day, all of the TikToks, all of the things, the podcast. We don't keep you hanging on anything. It was just like we were lagging on the members at that time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And Jason takes full responsibility. But now at this point, I feel we can not only talk about the Housewives of London, but then, of course, if you guys have ever been a part of our members, it leads into more personal conversations. Like, I could tell you like 50 things that have happened in the last 2 days, because I don't think I've eaten in 3 days.
Oh my God, there's so many things.
Really opening
up. And I think we're also trying to decide what to do for Christmas. You know, we take this trip every year. It's kind of like our trip. It's not like a work trip, because we're going to Palm Springs next week, so we're doing a huge members for that, huge members only. We're also going to have some other people on our show that are going to be there too. There's lots of people going to this event. It's actually our event with Hello Prenup.
I did it. I turned it off.
I didn't even say anything. I know you just get away with that one.
What? No, I just want to show you. It's on Do Not Disturb. It's on Do Not Disturb. Okay, go ahead.
Mine's off because, you know, I just never know. No, I'm just kidding. No, now I don't even know what I'm talking about. Oh, so we have a whole bunch of member stuff happening. To Gelsey, I don't know if you guys watch Anchor Watch. Gelsey will be with us next week too, and she's doing a whole bunch of cool reviews from a lot of Housewives products we have. So members is going to be really good.
Is Gelsey staying with us?
Yeah, one night.
Oh, that's so fun, because that means, guys, Gelsey is like, well, no, and Melissa. There's only 3 women I've ever shared
a bed with.
Yeah, my mom, Melissa, and Gelsey. It's always them. Oh, and your mom. Okay. But no, and on top of that, guys, don't forget to go over to upandadamlive.com, because we have incredible writers. We always have things coming out in case you don't have time to see everything, but you can see new articles coming out. We have our YouTube, we have our podcast. We show all of our writers at the bottom, and of course our incredible sponsors. But the best part about that is truly at the end of the day, it's like, it just doesn't stop. And that's what
shout out to the writer. They're holding our website right now.
No, it will. And you also, people are always like, we want more. And I'm like, I can't give you any more if nobody's doing any. Shannon Bedore, where's your car? Where's your car? Because I don't know what the hell's going on. Oh, Tamra quit. Never mind. Just kidding. We have some content, you know?
Well, until tomorrow. Tamra would never. Anyway, can we go back to that just really quick? I know we're ending the show. Tamra would never quit. She worked so hard when she got that orange back on Watch What Happens Live. She's not going anywhere. Season 20 is coming up. She'll be a part of it, of course. After that, who knows?
Yeah.
But she's not going anywhere. Come on.
I agree.
She didn't quit yet.
Thanks, Charlie. We appreciate you. And I would love to come to Perth. And
yeah, that's on the list.
And Toaster Jerky, just roll up on us, and I will make sure. All right, guys. An hour and 21 minutes. We're going to call this because we have so many other videos coming out today. Don't forget, we have TikToks, we have more articles, we have all of it. And I love you guys. And if you have a minute, then just comment on all of these videos and wish my mother-in-law happy birthday this week, because she is a fellow Leo like my mother. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow at 12 o'clock for Anchor Watch. That will be Jason and Gelsey. That will not be me. And then back on Friday again for more hot, messy topics. And the way that this week is shaping up, I think that we'll have plenty to talk about. So
yeah, absolutely.
Love you guys. Bye.